All right, so Hisa and I just came from the gym, so we're not looking our best, but we look cute. We're gonna look at the coronavirus COVID-19 today, do a constellation on it. So let's get started here. And again, at home, you guys can follow along with post-it notes, little pieces of paper, and a pen, and a tabletop. So I'm gonna switch my camera so you can see my tabletop, and let's do that. Let's get some focus here. Seems like we've got some
Yeah,
coldness.
it's foggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, let's do this. All right. So let's just place, we wrote on a piece of paper, coronavirus, COVID-19. And again, you can follow along at home and do the same thing. And let's just take a moment to place your hand on the piece of paper representing the virus. And let's feel into what's information we're receiving from the field. Take a few moments to tap into that. Hisa, what are you noticing?
I imagine like a big wave, like a tsunami kind of slowly coming this way, like force of nature.
Yeah. So I'm noticing this intense power and then like rippling effects. This is what I'm noticing. It's almost like a vibrational effect. Okay. So we're just going to keep receiving information from the field. So once we acknowledge something and speak it, more information can come to us. I feel like it's looking for people, like it's looking around for people. So let's bring what it's looking for in. Okay, so we're going to do that. Let's bring what it's looking for in. And let's actually put on a piece of paper what it's looking for. So what it's looking for, and we'll draw that arrow. That's the direction in which this representation is looking, is facing. And let's just go ahead and have this face the coronavirus, COVID-19. Let's place your hand on this piece of paper and let's see what shows up. So this is what it's looking for, what the virus is looking for. Let's just take a few moments to feel into that. So right away, I'm noticing a bunch of people showing up, different cultures, different places. What are you noticing, Hisa?
The words that I'm getting is a place to land.
Okay.
A place to land.
What is that coming from, the coronavirus or what it's looking for?
What it's looking for, a place to land. So it could be, and the images that are coming are like boats and planes and, you know, it wants to land. So, yeah.
Yeah. So it wants to find a home somewhere and it feels like it's within people.
And it wants to spread.
And I was first getting more of an Asian culture at first. That was the initial group of people that showed up here. And that's spreading. I feel like it's actually spreading to Europe right now.
It just feels like what I got were two images. And one was the image of airports. And one was a very medieval image of like a ship coming into port carrying the plague.
So it's like traveling fast. It's finding the fastest ways.
It's like wanting to find new places.
Yeah. So let's keep feeling into this as the field reveals. And it's looking. I see a lot of looking around for opportunity. And it's housing. It wants to house within the people. It wants to find a home within the people. It's like a I want to use the word attachment, but also what is it when there's a word when something sucks on to someone, or like
Parasite? A
parasite.
parasite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a parasitic desire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's go back into feeling into the coronavirus, COVID-19, and see now that what it's looking for is in the field. Let's see how it shifts or what information we're receiving. And what do you notice, Hisa?
Again, that it's interesting because it's morphing between a bell curve and a tsunami wave. So it's going to crest and then it's going to die down.
Mm-hmm. So there are these waves, this wave energy, this wave sensation.
Right, that it's going to peak and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to, and it hasn't peaked yet.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting how it's sneaky and it's bold.
Right.
Yeah. So let's just, every time we reveal something in the field, let's just let this, what wants to be seen, what wants to be acknowledged, let's just let it rest for a few moments as we reveal what's been hidden, and then we'll receive more information. There's also this cloudiness in my head right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like perhaps that's part of the symptoms, or part of what we're feeling, and just asking the field to give us more information about that.
I'm also getting the sense that it's a force of nature. It's a force of nature, and it's almost saying, look, you know, and the quote that I am getting is like what Terence McKenna said, like, you monkeys don't have it all, you know, haven't have anything solved.
Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely feeling that force of nature. So let's actually let's bring in Hisa, and everyone else can follow along here too. What it's looking for, and let's say what it wants. Let's bring that in and see what kind of clarity we get. What it wants, and if we need to modify the words, we can. So what it wants with that arrow, that's the direction facing. Let's just place that here for right now. So what it wants. So what does the coronavirus COVID-19 want? And place your hand on this representation and let's see what shows up. So immediately I had the movement was facing right at it. So let's just do that. Let's have it look right at the coronavirus. What are you noticing?
Sort of like it wants us to come to our knees and look at ourselves.
So it wants us to see its power.
Yeah, but also like it wants us to know that the superficial things that we take as civilization doesn't mean much.
It also, and it wants humility. It wants us to be humble.
Right.
So it looks like, so what that felt like to me is that, and when I feel into this, it actually feels like a benevolent force. Like it wants us to open our eyes. It wants us to see what we're taking advantage of, and what we're again, what we're used to, that our privileges, our lives, that we're not aware of how good we have it, or there's nothing that's interrupted our lives like this.
And one of the questions that I'm hearing from it is, do you know how to come together?
Yeah.
Do you know how to come together?
Let's sit with that
Yeah.
for a second. So there is a, do you know how to get through this together? Yeah.
Right.
So I'm actually feeling like this, and you said it before, this earthly, I'm feeling like this motherly force, a nature force of, and I'm wondering, do we know how the coronavirus, the origins of it, is it of the earth? It doesn't feel like it's of the earth. It feels like it's of earth substance.
Well, there's this whole theory about the 5G
Mm-hmm.
and certain like waves that we have developed, that Wuhan was the center of this technology of 5G.
Mm-hmm.
And the Princess Diamond cruises had the 5G, and it kind of weakens our immune systems.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's something about technology and modern civilization, because it's making those things that we take for granted, like it's wiping it out.
Mm-hmm. So I felt some truth in that. I also really feel a strong earthly, but it's a substance, but it's also in the air origin. So I felt some truth in that, and the compromising and the connectivity feels like it's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's feel back into, I'm just going back and forth here and feeling the response as you're speaking, feeling the truth of that. Okay, so let's actually put in what we are called to do.
Okay.
So what we are called to do, and if we need to clarify that or modify that, we can. What we are called to do with that arrow, and let's, I know that in which it's facing. Let's just place this over here.
Okay.
So feeling in what we are called to do. It just felt like it wanted the attention of the virus. So let's go ahead and have the virus look right at it. Okay, so feeling again into what we are called to do. So I feel like this is trying to get the attention of the virus. It actually wants, it wants information from the virus. Because I feel this feels like we are not sure and we're asking. So let's feel back into the virus and see what information we can receive. And what are you noticing, Hisa?
Well, the thing is, I'm wondering if we could add another thing, is fear and anxiety, because there's a lack of clarity between trying to know what we are trying to do and the fear and the anxiety, giving us messages that, may not be true.
Okay. So before we do that, let's feel into this, because that may be a next step, but let's feel into this first. So what is coronavirus when what we are called to do comes in? Let's feel into that first. So I'm getting that it wants knowledge. It wants information out. It wants things to be known. It wants things to what was hidden to be seen.
Right.
Like no more hiding under rocks. The truth has to come out. This information, everyone has to be aware of this information, and the lies won't hold. It really wants the truth to come out.
And it's equal opportunity virus.
Yeah. So no one,
Meaning that all social classes, all social economic classes are going to be affected, you know?
the coronavirus is showing us that everyone is equal.
Right.
Yeah. Coronavirus is showing us that nothing can be hidden.
Right.
It goes under every rock.
Right. And any kind of bullshit is going to be found out.
I also heard the word bullshit. So
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So bullshit will be seen. You
Mm-hmm.
can't hide behind the bullshit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what happens once we acknowledge all of that? Just asking the field, asking the coronavirus what happens. So it feels like we can all come together. It feels like in light. And again, our awareness increases. Our empathy and compassion for others on a worldly scale increases.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a layer of, and Hisa, you and I have been noticing this, a layer of protection and boundaries that healthy, this is a healthy boundary and protection that we
Mm-hmm.
were not aware of before that we now implement. And that's
Mm-hmm.
physical.
Mm-hmm.
That's physical, and that's also on other levels. So that also extends into emotional, spiritual, mental, cultural as well. So healthy cultural boundaries too.
Mm-hmm.
International, political boundaries. So all these boundaries are being affected
Right.
in a healthy way. And so as we notice, he's when something is asked to be healed, when growth is asked to happen, sometimes we gotta go dig down deep and unsuppress what's been suppressed or repressed, and so that we can bring it to the light, and that we can grow from that and heal, and take things to a greater consciousness.
Um, Another message that I'm getting from the coronavirus is this is going to give us an opportunity to heal because it's not man-made. There's no thing to blame. So it's not like 9/11 where, you know, a certain group of people attacked us, or it's not North Korea. It's a force of nature.
Yeah.
So,
And that gives me, once you said that in the field, it gave me more clarity on what I was feeling earlier. It felt like that I want to say ethereal or cloud of the origin that I was sensing. So this is what it feels like is, it's a combination. So it's a force from outside us, combined with our activities and our activities and our consciousness here now. So there's just like this combination here. So that's more about what I was feeling into that cloud earlier. So he said, I wanna keep this as a short little constellation,
okay.
just to kind of look to see why and how we can get more clarity on the coronavirus, and not kind of like not on that fear level and not how we've been reacting, but actually what's actually going on behind the scenes here. Why is this happening now? And again, we're down here. So, what's the purpose of this, as far as growth and evolution and consciousness? So, if you're okay, can we end this here? Or is there something else that you'd like to look at?
I think I'm getting, and I'm getting there's going to be awareness about, it's not about protecting me, it's about protecting each other.
Yeah. So let's
I
just,
think that just should be put in the field.
and I want to just acknowledge, and I feel like there's some appreciation from the virus here. I'm actually feeling some gratitude, the virus for looking at this right now. And so as healers and light workers and and all of us who are doing work like that, conscious work in helping others, you know, the more that we're in tune with that, the more that we can balance what's happening in the world right now, and really spread that. So, and I think again, this is what the virus is wanting, and this is what the next step for evolution is, in this, what it's showing us. So, all right, I think let's end this here. And I think, Hisa, I think I'm gonna just bring some light to this, actually. So for some support on the other side before we do that, just some healing support to support all of us through this. And let's just feel into that before we end. So this is to help the field. This is to help this whole situation, all involved, and bringing light and awareness to us. So waking us up and helping us through this. So this perspective and having an awareness of the why, and the acknowledgement that, yeah, we do, when we unsuppress, we bring up wounds, and when we have support through that, and we know that we will be healed, then it helps us to navigate. So just asking for those on the other side who can support us for our greatest good to be there with us. Okay, so let's end this here, and then Hisa, I think we'll be doing more videos and as needed to just for support during this time, because every day, every hour, this is changing.
Right.
So thank you so much, and thank you at home, and see you guys soon.
Bye-bye.